I want to talk to you about remembering the late civil rights activist Jesse Jackson Jr. because they did just that in South Carolina. They honored Jackson, his casket arriving by horse-drawn carriage to the South Carolina Statehouse, carried by what appear to be the state troopers there. He'll lie in state in South Carolina in the rotunda as the public gathers to pay their respects. Later this afternoon, they will have a memorial at the Brookland Baptist Church honoring Jackson. And then a memorial tribute will also be held a little bit later on, even still in the afternoon. The state's honoring the civil rights icon comes following requests from members of the state's General Assembly as well as the Jackson family. He formed Operation PUSH, or the People United to Save Humanity, in Chicago's South Side. In the 80s, he also formed the National Rainbow Coalition. Later, those two groups merged to become the current Rainbow PUSH Coalition, whose mission includes helping minorities hiring in corporate America, voter registration, drives in communities of color. Jackson, 84 years old, a two-time presidential candidate. So the state of South Carolina honoring him, remembering him, and his body there lying in state.